Imagine sitting across from someone who assures you that everything is fine. Their words are calm, their smile seems steady, and yet, for a fleeting moment, you catch a flash of something in their expression, an almost imperceptible tightening of the mouth, a flicker of fear in the eyes, or a brief curl of contempt before the smile settles back into place. That moment is so quick, you almost convince yourself it didn't happen. But it did. What you saw was a microexpression, a split-second leakage of hidden emotion, an unguarded window into the truth they wanted to conceal. Microexpressions are the secret language of the subconscious. They are facial expressions that erupt involuntarily, lasting less than a fifth of a second, often so fast that the untrained eye dismisses them as glitches. Yet these flashes are profoundly honest. While words can be rehearsed, while body language can be controlled, microexpressions bypass the filter of conscious intention. They come from the deeper emotional brain, the amygdala, which reacts before the neocortex has time to edit. That is why they are so revealing. They are the Morse code of the human soul, transmitting truths even when the person would rather keep them hidden. The beauty and danger of microexpressions lie in their universality. Across all cultures, from bustling cities to remote villages, people display the same core set of emotional flashes: fear, anger, disgust, surprise, contempt, and happiness. These expressions are hardwired, inherited through evolution as survival mechanisms. When our ancestors needed to detect hostility, they did not wait for words. They read faces. That instinct has never left us. Even now, we often say, "I had a gut feeling" when meeting someone. What we truly mean is that our subconscious noticed a facial flicker, a tiny signal that did not match the words, and our body responded before we consciously understood why. Why do most people miss these clues? The answer is speed. A microexpression can last as little as 1/25th of a second. Social conditioning has also trained us to prioritize speech over facial nuance. We focus on what people say, not what they show, so our awareness filters out what feels like noise. Yet when you train yourself to notice these flashes, the world changes. You begin to see beyond the masks, detecting the emotions people fight to suppress. Consider the power this grants. In a negotiation, the other party might insist that a proposal is acceptable, but their face leaks contempt for a fraction of a second. That signal warns you, beneath their words lies resistance. In a relationship, someone might smile while claiming they are not upset, but sadness briefly shadows their expression. If you miss the clue, you may overlook their pain. If you catch it, you gain the chance to address what is real, not just what is spoken. Microexpressions do not lie. They are the raw output of the nervous system, revealing what the heart feels before the mind intervenes. Understanding these signals transforms not only how you perceive others, but also how you navigate conflict. Imagine confronting dishonesty. A person denies wrongdoing, but their face betrays fear before the denial is complete. You may not accuse them directly, but you know where to probe. Or picture yourself in a tense discussion where the other person suddenly flashes contempt. That tiny movement, a one-sided smirk, a curling lip, carries a message louder than any words. They feel superior, dismissive, perhaps even hostile. Recognizing that truth equips you to respond strategically instead of being blindsided later. Training yourself to notice microexpressions is like tuning your eyes to a new frequency. At first, it feels impossible. The movements are so quick that you doubt yourself. But with practice, your perception sharpens. You start to notice the twitch of an eyebrow, the brief narrowing of the eyes, the half-formed grimace that disappears almost before it begins. These flashes are emotional leaks, the unconscious betraying the conscious. Over time, they form a map. They tell you when people are afraid, when they are hiding anger, when their smile is real, and when it is a mask. It is important, however, to remember that context matters. A fleeting look of fear does not always mean guilt. It may mean anxiety, stress, or worry about unrelated matters. Microexpressions should not be treated as absolute proof, but as vital clues that demand attention. Think of them as whispers rather than shouts. They invite further observation, further testing. When combined with tone of voice, posture, and words, they complete the puzzle of what someone truly feels. There is also a responsibility in seeing what others cannot. Detecting hidden emotions grants power, and power must be handled with care. To notice a person's suppressed sadness or concealed anger is not an invitation to exploit it. It is a call to empathy, to understand more deeply what lies behind the facade. The temptation to use this knowledge manipulatively is strong, but the wiser path is to wield it ethically. With it, you can build trust, resolve conflicts, and protect yourself from deception. Without that ethical compass, you risk becoming the very manipulator you seek to defend against. Think about how this skill alters everyday interactions. A job interviewer can see when a candidate's confidence falters beneath practiced answers. A parent can notice the hidden fear in a child who claims everything is fine. A leader can detect hesitation in a team member who agrees verbally but doubts internally. In each case, microexpressions give you the chance to act with greater accuracy and compassion, to address what is unsaid rather than being misled by the mask. And yet, once you begin to see them, life changes permanently. You cannot unsee microexpressions. They become part of how you process the world. Conversations take on new depth. Deceptions stand out more clearly. Hidden emotions that once passed unnoticed now flash like warning lights on a dashboard. This does not mean you become a cynic or a detective in every moment. Rather, you gain a richer understanding of the human experience. You see people not only as they present themselves, but as they truly are in fleeting glimpses of authenticity. There is one more layer to this skill, and it lies in your own face. Just as you can read microexpressions in others, others can read them in you, consciously or unconsciously. If you wish to command influence, you must learn to manage your own emotional leakage. This does not mean suppressing feelings entirely, but becoming aware of how they surface, practicing neutrality, calming yourself in high-stress situations, and aligning your internal state with your external expression can protect you from giving away more than you intend. To master microexpressions, you must both read them and regulate them. In the end, the study of microexpressions is the study of truth. Words can lie, gestures can mislead, but the face tells the story in flashes too fast to disguise. When you learn to notice those flashes, you hold a key that most people never discover. You become an interpreter of the hidden language of emotion, able to see beneath the surface of human interaction. This ability does not make you infallible, but it makes you far more aware. And with awareness comes choice, the choice to respond with wisdom, to protect yourself from deception, and to connect with others on a deeper, more authentic level. From now on, when you speak with someone, pay attention to what flickers and fades before the mask settles in place. Notice the flash of fear before the reassurance, the brief disdain before the compliment, the half smile that vanishes as quickly as it appeared. In those moments, you glimpse the unfiltered truth of the human heart. It is a truth most people never see, but once you do, the way you experience every conversation will change forever.